So I think there's a difference between being proud and acknowledging your bloodline, being black, being Italian, even acknowledging where you're from, what city you rep. That stuff is cool to acknowledge it, but when you start to over-identify with it, you start to over-identify with something external, right? So anything that does not match what you over-identify with, which could be your skin color, your race, the language you speak, where you're from, where you're at, any and everything that doesn't match that external identity becomes attacked, right? Because only your ego really over attaches to something like an identity. And the second that you over attach to the identity, it starts to become something along the lines of inferior, superior. Now, everyone else that's not black or from where I'm from, they get put in a different group than me. The ego does that, of course. And then discreetly, you judge them, or you're prejudiced against them, or you don't think they're on the same level as you. And then when you over-identify with these groups, or this identity, becomes groupthink. All of a sudden, the second that you're not pro-black, or you have a different opinion about what something could mean, you get tossed out of the group and ostracized. Like, bro, are you with us? Like, you're black. What are you talking about, man? Like, come on, dog. We don't take that mess. Get out of here with that shit. You know what I'm saying? So, I like to play devil's advocate a lot. Now, what I typically do, right, is I will accept people's beliefs where they're at, but just offer a wider perspective, a different perspective. That's what's needed more. Because when people just sit there and become groupthinked and an echo chamber, like someone will post someone on Facebook or social media about something that happened outrageous, right? And every single comment is just agreeing with the poster. Like, yes, I agree. Yeah, F them, F that. Yeah, I know. This is crazy, blah, blah, blah. And it's nothing but the same people agreeing with each other, right? Sometimes I'll hop in the comment section, not necessarily disagree with the OP. I'll just offer a wider perspective. Like, let's back up a little bit here, right? Some people will argue against my devil's advocate perspective, but then after a while I get more and more and more likes, more hearts, more feedback, and then people are suddenly like, okay, this cat right here, I might not agree with him, but he is kind of right about this perspective he's offering us. Like, okay. And then people start to respect that, and they start to be like, okay, I see what he's saying. And then you have other people who are still just 10 toes down on their belief, again, which is fine. And I even say that's fine. Hey, if your belief is that convicted, then it must serve you. That's completely fine. Like, if that's what you want to believe about yourself, that's completely fine, bro. But you have the choice. You can decide how to react. You can decide what to believe in. You can make a choice about that stuff. Every moment is a new moment. Just because your ancestors, your bloodline, everyone in your family hates a certain amount of people or a certain type of people or whatever, that does not mean you have to follow along. Every family has a black sheep. I could be one of them. The point is, the black sheep of the family is the one who was chosen to break the trauma. Break the rituals, break the same old. Because nothing ever changes if everything stays the same. You need someone to mix it up, provide the devil's advocate, provide the wider perspective. It sounds like bypassing a lot, I get it. Like, for instance, when two people kill each other, husband murders wife or vice versa. Sometimes I can look and be like, that's clearly a soul contract. You can just see it. You can just sense it. But to say it is very insensitive. Like, oh, they plan to do that. Like, nah, 2 people died or 1 person died or whatever the case is. That's never cool. I never condone it. I never approve of it. But I understand it. I accept it. And for anything to ever change, you must accept it first or understand it first. It has to be brought to your awareness, to your conscious, to look at it, observe it, accept it, and then choose or decide to change it. Not even change your beliefs, just question them. And it's also funny too, right? We respect people in authority who think different, act different, they question things. But like when it's your own people who do it, it's nah. It's nah. Shut it down. If someone else in the comment section for a post says something along the lines of, basically I said the state of the world we're in right now, right? We chose this. We chose this. We chose all of this. We've had so many prophets, Lord Krishna, Muhammad, Jesus, Saint Germain, a lot of ascended masters, avatars, people who incarnated on earth with a high level of consciousness, who understood it, the game that we're playing. They tried to teach us and they tried to tell us in different ways what all this reality is, and they got man, like with Jesus, right? He wasn't even Christian. He tried to go against the Church of Rome, and actually I think he tried to go against, that's not even important. I'm over here getting sidetracked. Basically, we all can choose with every interaction. We can always choose love. If everyone on this planet, 8.3 billion people, if we all chose love, and we could all pause every single time and choose love, if we all consciously chose love in every interaction, we would have heaven on earth the same day. That's bars. But we don't do it. Our ego, we let the ego run the society, right? If someone right now were to ram their shopping cart into my car, there's a myriad of ways I can react, right? The ego will get pissed off, right? That person's shopping cart hit my car. I'm fine. I didn't get hurt. My car doesn't have my car's not alive. My car's not hurt. Maybe dented, right? Scratched up a little bit. But the second the shopping cart hits the car, and it's me and the person who did it, you have a choice. I have a choice. I can pause, respond, not react. I can pause and respond and say, okay, in this situation, what would Jesus do? What would love look like? What would love sound like? What would love feel like in this situation? Shopping cart hit my car. I'm pausing. I paused. From there, what would love do? How would someone loving react to a situation of that caliber? It's minor, right? Shopping cart hits a car, whatever. That's a small scale, right? Radical forgiveness, basically. I can choose to be pissed off and mad, choose to get his insurance information, choose to make him pay with a checkbook, right? To get my car repaired with the scratch. I can choose to do that. The ego would love to do that. It would love nothing more. Or I can choose the opposite. I can choose to pause and say, you know what? It's clearly an accident. I saw him slip. It's windy outside. It's just a shopping cart. It's just a car. And I guarantee a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 months from now, I won't even remember the shopping cart hitting the car. The scratch it made, the dent it does it really matter? All these cars around here, I see so many cars in this parking lot that have dents, scratches. They're dirty. Like, who cares? Your ego cares. Your soul doesn't care. Your ego cares. Everyone's ego cares. That's the problem. The world is how it is right now because our ego is the one that's running the show. Our ego cares. The world is how it is because we don't pause and choose love. We always want to fight, disagree, shun, exile, kill, hurt. The second someone disagrees with your opinion or perspective or your group or your identity or who you are, the second there's a discrepancy in two people's egos, there's a potential for disagreements, miscommunication, misconstruence. There's always, you know what I'm saying? But if everyone always chose love in every situation, every interaction, if everyone could pause and choose love before reacting, respond, not react. That is how. Like, you could be different. Okay, this person can be black. They could be white. They could be fat. They could be tall. They could disagree in my political position, even though I have one. You can disagree all you want. That's fine. Disagreeing is fine. We all have experiences that lead us to how we are today. So disagreeing is fine. You're going to disagree. But you can disagree with love, with compassion. You can disagree while keeping it you get what I'm saying. Yeah, but we chose this. We chose this because this isn't about intelligence. Because if I were to take an IQ test or take my ass back to school, I wouldn't get straight A's. I wouldn't consider myself smart. And the brightest people that have walked this earth are not the smartest, not the book smartest. We have scholars, of course, but you could argue they're smart because they put the work in to become smart. But the brightest minds that have walked this earth have had to have one thing in common. Not some godly spirit. I'm not talking about, nah. It wasn't their intelligence or their brain size or how much they studied or their their upbringing. It was their consciousness level, their perspective. The people who changed the earth, the people who walk this earth, it's their perspective on things, it's their consciousness level that's different. They see things other people can't see. It's not to do with intelligence or smartness. The consciousness level of this earth, we chose this. The byproduct of what we look at and interact with around us in our environment is based off of the consciousness level of the area that we're in. Meaning, if everyone is at the same level of consciousness, right, then everyone's going to pretty much act from the same level of consciousness. They're going to have the same mentality, perspective on life, on reality, and what they believe to be true. It's only when people come that are a little bit higher or from a different angle when people can actually change, right? It's all about choice. I watched a podcast. I'll end it with this. I watched a podcast maybe 2 weeks ago, and a woman made a huge discernment between choosing and deciding. When you choose something, that's because you have options. To choose something implies there are options to choose from. But when you decide something, decide to be different, decide to pause, decide to choose love, it's different. Deciding versus choosing. I wish I could say how she said it, because she said it in a certain way where it clicked for me. But yes, deciding versus choosing is a whole different mentality. Decide to do something, decide to be something, decide to change something. Don't just choose it, because when you choose it, you can choose it once and then not choose it again. You can choose to lose weight. That just means you may eat a little bit different on this day and exercise on that day. Maybe go on a diet, maybe choose this diet, choose that diet, choose this way to do it. But if you decide to lose weight, it just hits different. Like, no, I'm deciding to lose weight. That's more like I will lose weight, not like I might try and do it. Choice is like I might try. Deciding is doing. But that's all I got, really. Easy.